Hello everybody, my name is David Hall, and this is my persuasive speech for CST 100 section 033B, and today is December the 2nd, 2010. Today I'm going to be talking about how and why foreign aid contributed to the high death toll experienced in Haiti as a result of the earthquake in that country this past January. The record of foreign aid to Haiti has not achieved its intended results due to poor planning, corruption, and misallocated resources. And I did research on this project on the internet, and I will post links to cato.org, the International Reporting Project.org, the Washington Post, and Wikipedia. First off, I would like to talk a bit about the history of Haiti. Haiti is one of two countries in the West that had a civil war that resulted in the end of slavery. It is also the only country in the West that had a successful slave revolt that resulted in both emancipation and independence. Haiti was able to keep pace with its Caribbean neighbors for most of the 19th and 20th century through agricultural farming to support its citizens, and through the exports of coffee and sugar, and Haiti was also a tourist destination. Haiti became victimized by corrupt dictators in the mid and late 20th century. The worst of these was Jean-Claude Baby Doc Duvalier, who came to power after his father, Papa Doc, in the 1970s. The Duvaliers had the backing of the United States because they took an anti-communist stance, yet Baby Doc Duvalier's plan was based on a communist model. What he did with backing from the IMF and the United States Agency for International Development, they tried to transform Haiti's economy from an agricultural one to a manufacturing exporting one, and while there was no demand for Haitian exports, manufacturing exports, on the open market. How Duvalier did this was he set up manufacturing assembly plants in the city and agricultural processing plants in the country, with the promise of luring citizens into the city for the promise of jobs and higher wages at the assembly plant. The one thing that Haiti had to offer was a source of cheap labor, since the population was so poor. So they had a place where they could pay very, very low wages and get away with it, which they couldn't do in other countries. Well, too many people showed up for too few jobs in the cities, which resulted in a high unemployment rate and the reliance on welfare and free food from foreign aid. The collapse of the shanty towns outside of Port-au-Prince that we saw as a result of the earthquake have been there since the 1970s because of Duvalier's plan, and that it resulted in a high unemployment rate. And the reason why the people built shanty towns instead of moving back onto farms in the countryside was the agricultural plants that were set up in the countryside drove farm prices almost to the bottom because the Haitians couldn't compete with almost free food. The agricultural centers were subsidized by foreign aid themselves, so they could charge dirt cheap prices and still make money. Also, this resulted in a 75% unemployment rate and did not contribute any to revamping Haiti's infrastructure. Most of Haitians still to this day don't have electricity. And because they don't have electricity, they have to burn wood in order to fuel the fires for cooking and heat. And if you look at, you can see this in a satellite picture from space. If you look at the island of Hispaniola from space, Haiti is on the left and the Dominican Republic is on the right. Haiti is completely brown, while the Dominican is still green. Haiti has almost been completely deforested. And as a result of this, anytime a natural disaster occurs, like a hurricane, it completely floods the country. And that's why their national disasters are a lot worse on them than they are in other countries in the Caribbean and the United States. Now, the only short-term solution I have found that actually worked was a project started, it's known as the South-South Cooperative, which is a project started by the countries of Brazil, South Africa, and India. And what they did was they set up recycling centers in the city or the shanty towns outside of Port-au-Prince because the trash had started to build up in the streets. Now, what they did was they recycled and sold metal, glass, and paper. And they also produced charcoal briquettes, which is a cheaper and more environmentally friendly version of fuel for Haitians to use in their fires. The only other foreseeable solution would be for foreign aid to do a complete 180 and adopt a grassroots solution similar to this project, to let people demand what they need and let them use local infrastructure in order to get these projects going. The problem is with most current projects designed to help the Haitian economy only last a few months, and then funding pretty much covers operational cost and doesn't provide jobs, and they're gone in about 3 months. The only other solution, which is kind of as a double-edged sword, would be for foreign aid to completely dry up and end. The only way for this to happen, from what I can tell, is if the economies in the West collapse under their own debt. And when that happens, there will be no money to lend to other countries for foreign aid because there won't be anything left. So pretty much foreign aid is a transfer of wealth through taxation from the citizens of the developed countries, including the United States, to our government, which transfers the money to their government, and it doesn't help the citizens at all. It's going through too many channels. There's too many people who with corrupt. It's just a mess, and it's really sad that the Haitians have suffered this indignity for the past 200 years, and it's not their fault. If they were just left alone like the United States was left alone in its founding, and we've prospered, if we would just extend the Haitians the same courtesy, I'm sure they would end up being just fine. Thank you very much.